The Digimon versus Pokemon debate is often a matter of personal preference, but there are several hardcore fans of Digimon that would argue for and defend their preferred franchise as being superior than Pokemon. We have seen that over the years, while Pokemon became the biggest franchise in the world, Digimon fell off to the side and has been seen by most as a knockoff. But how did this all start? Digimon started in 1997 as a digital pet toy created by Bandai following the success of the Tamagotchi. The concept was originally aimed at boys and featured digital creatures that could grow, evolve, and battle one another through the device. A year earlier in 1996, Pokémon Red and Green released in Japan to massive success. However, it was both of their respective animes that really boosted the franchises and skyrocketed their popularities. Pokémon releasing in America in late 1998, and Digimon once again behind Pokémon releasing their anime almost exactly a year later. And though at first it was seen as a Pokémon knockoff, having experienced this myself firsthand, both franchises were massive hit amongst young audiences. Many felt that Digimon really could rival the beloved Pokémon phenomenon. So where did Digimon fail to capitalize on their success and match their rival? When it came to the respective animes, the younger audiences didn't really dissect the shows, loving both because of the cool and colorful creatures. However, looking back at these shows and removing the subjectiveness that comes with nostalgia, you can conclude that Digimon anime did indeed provide higher quality content. Digimon generally featured more intricate and emotionally driven narratives. The anime often deals with themes like personal growth, relationships, and even existential crisis, giving it a more mature edge compared to the relatively lighter tone of Pokemon. Not to say that there aren't gut-wrenching moments in Pokemon.
Goodbye, Pikachu. Goodbye! Goodbye!
Pikachu.
But the character development was also more prominent in Digimon. The human characters evolve over time alongside their Digimon partners. The characters face emotional and personal challenges, and their growth is a major part of the story. In contrast, Pokemon focuses more on Ash's quest and battles, with less emphasis on his personal development. The stakes in Digimon tend to be much higher as well. The Digimon and their human partners are often tasked with saving entire worlds or universes from destruction. Pokemon, on the other hand, is more focused on smaller scale, personal goals like becoming a Pokemon master. The antagonists in Digimon are often more complex, with deeper motivations and moral ambiguity. Pokemon's villains like Team Rocket are usually played for comic relief or have more straightforward, less developed motivations. In Digimon, the focus is on the relationship between a human and their partner Digimon. Rather than the gotta catch 'em all concept, this can make Digimon feel more focused on individual bonds rather than the collection aspect that is central to early Pokemon. But that brings us to the focal point of each franchise, their monsters. Pocket monsters and digital monsters. This topic is a very subjective preference that will vary on who you ask. Digimon also don't evolve conventionally the way Pokemon do. Digi-evolution in Digimon is more dynamic and can happen in various forms. Digimon can revert to early stages, allowing them to evolve multiple ways depending on the circumstances, making the evolution process more flexible. In contrast, Pokemon evolution is more linear and permanent. Some of the Digimon evolutions, however, don't make a lot of sense sometimes, but it's hard to deny how cool some of these unorthodox designs can be. Pokemon definitely feel more grounded to realism than Digimon does, at times, so it ultimately comes down to the preferred aesthetic preference of individual consumers. So once again, where did it go wrong for Digimon when the late 90s showed us how much potential the franchise had? The quality of the marketing. Pokemon and Digimon had the same avenues of marketing: anime, trading cards, video games, and toys/merchandise. We've established that in an objective point of view, the anime which sparked interest in both franchises, Digimon was a higher quality product. But video games, trading cards, toys, and merch are where Pokemon thrived and soared over the popularity of Digimon. As a big fan of both franchises, I can confidently tell you that there isn't a single Digimon video game I'd prefer over the worst mainline game of the Pokemon franchise. The Pokemon video game is what ultimately helped Pokemon become what it is. And while Digimon had the premise and world to potentially be greater than its rival, the harsh reality is that Digimon was never able to find their place in the video game industry. The franchise to this day still pumps out games, and they are successful enough to continue, but it's no secret that Digimon does not know what to do with their franchise within the industry. Varying in multiple genres and never sticking to a formula that worked for them, Digimon seems almost lost within the gaming world. But you can argue that Pokemon repeating their formula that works is getting very stale for the franchise, and while recent entries like Scarlet and Violet did expand on the open world concept more and helped fight the critics of the same formula they've been repeating, the games came out in very poor condition, which made a lot of fans start turning on the franchise. Now, the trading cards in the late 90s, early 2000s were a huge deal. I personally will say I loved both, but this is another avenue where it's evident Pokemon steamrolled and has a clear victory over the Digimon trading card game. And while today there's been a resurgence in interest for the Digimon card game, it's evident it will never reach the heights Pokemon TCG has. And with toys and merchandise, it's once again obvious that the more colorful and easy kid-friendly marketing of Pokemon once again thrived over the more obscure theme of Digimon. Both franchises were compared a lot when they've surfaced, and while Digimon has a very loyal fan base, it's impossible to reach the heights Pokemon has. I still have hope that someday Digimon finds higher success and makes a big comeback because I'd love to consume more of its products and see a resurgence of popularity for them. And while I love Pokemon, they will never produce anything cooler than Omnimon.